Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who's calling that shit? Who? 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 Yeah, yeah. OVO Sound 2025. Who's calling that shit?
Is it Stacy? Is it Becky? Is it Keisha? Is it Effie? Was it Danny? Is it Party? Where's the function?
Where the fuck the function? Where the fuck the function?
Howdy, everybody. This is JR from West Virginia Uncommon Place, and I'm hitting y'all with this episode the day I found love. Now, this is crazy. You're going to think that I'm going to just spin this around and do some kind of crazy whatever. And I did throw Drake in there for a reason because Drake is, Hotline Bling and a lot of stuff. I'm light skinned, I love Drake. So here's the thing. I found love. I found love at an early age. I found love. I wasn't in kindergarten. This is what happened to me. I was in kindergarten, and for some reason, my mom held me back. I don't know why she held me back. It worked out better for me in life. I became well educated from being held back that 1 year. So I went on to transitional first grade, and I'll never forget because I remember all my teachers. The lady's name was Miss Hammond. Miss Hammond was a nice lady. And I just wouldn't tie my shoes. I was like, fuck that shit. I ain't tying no shoes. I'm just out here doing my thing. I'm not going to swerve. I ain't going to be around. I ain't worrying about this, and that, or none of that other stuff. I'm just purely out here to do my thing. I don't care if the teacher gets mad, my mama gets mad. Buy me some fucking Velcro shoes and I'll stick it with those. So I'm in school Monday through Friday. On Fridays at my school, which then transitional first grade was held at our vocational center, because we used to have trailers and shit for classes at the elementary school because we had too many goddamn kids. And it is what it is. Schools was doing whatever they was doing. Shout out to Governor Wilder because he was doing his thing back then. Around the same time, Marion Barry was doing his shit in D.C. But that was a mayor to a governor. But anyway, Virginia's Virginia. And I'll never forget this lady. Her name was Brandy Little. Brandy Little was my first girlfriend. I'm going there. And you're saying love? It wasn't her that I was in love with. It ain't even that. God rest her soul. She was a nice lady. It was this. I fell in love with the whole idea of Dick Tracy, Batman. Now you gotta remember this was 1989 going into 90. What else was it? It was Batman, Dick Tracy. Could have been Beetlejuice, probably wasn't Beetlejuice. But it was MC Hammer. Too legit to quit, but it wasn't even that. It was Can't Touch It. Doom, 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 doom. And I'm telling you, I got down. And I fell in love because I went and got the doll with the boom box. I watched the animated cartoon. I was enthralled with the idea of someone rapping, and he rapped good. He was a hell of a rapper. I don't want nobody to sleep on him. But I was wrapped up in this idea that I was going to be amazing. I was going to be great. And I was going to have a good time. And yes, I did have a good time. And from that point on, that good time just led to me falling in love with this one major idea. You can have a passion for something and call it love. So that's the lesson I learned there. And I know this is a quick one, but look, that's why I had to do this one because, the cover art for this shows the two characters from The Rescuers. And the story on those from Rescuers, that was another movie, The Rescuers Down Under had came out. And I went to go see this movie. And this movie taught me about what it is to care for someone and to show your feelings. Now, let's not go too deep into it, but let's imagine it like this. When you watched a Disney movie at a young age and then you watched it later, there's some rationalizations that come out, or realizations, not rationalizations, realizations that come from this. And this is what happened here. I got my first taste back in 1989, 90, 91, in between that period. I was excited. I was like, what is this feeling? Didn't know what it was until later on in life. But the day that I fell in love was whatever day MC Hammer came out with that song, Dick Tracy came out, all that stuff in one bubble, because I even had the Dick Tracy watch before we had Apple Watches or these technical watches. And from that point on, it was amazing. I was like, whoa, what am I doing here? How's this working out for me? And once again, this is an episode inside the 40 for 40, and it's a lot of episodes I got to get done. So I take pride in doing these things, and I take pride in just being able to get this stuff out there and get it rolling because it's so fun. I've done video, and now I'm just sitting back and I'm doing audio right now because I'm a podcaster and I love doing that. So the main thing to go with this quick, short story was this real simple thing. I found love behind my passions. And my passions were that movie, that cartoon, and that rap song, Can't Touch This. So on this note, let's let the British lady take us out of here.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.